your mother? It's time for another episode of Birds with Friends. Just a trio of feathery brethren weathering any season to see the Eagles eating teams like Scrammy's top with cheese. It's Philadelphia. Bo, Sheil, and Zach kicking it cooler than 3 penguins till Zach runs off with his valet keys. He's a real nuanced goose. Pull up a branch, get loose. It's time for some juice on some Birds with Friends. The early bird gets the worm, but prefers getting turned like a turn on some Birds with Friends. Bo, Sheil, and Zach coming at you with stats and things, flapping their wings on
the Tuesday meeting after they win by 36. Why did we they ran for 350. How he was inactive. I don't give
back. I remember hearing that one. Hello, everybody.
That's a new one. It's a new one.
That's a new one. I didn't even know that we were working on new ones, Marissa.
So it's a new one that I've had in my email. And Mark, I totally forgot that I had it. And I was looking at my email to spice things up today. And I did see that our good friend, Allen Robinson, I believe, was activated. And that was what that clip was from. So I figured I couldn't wait for the Giants game for that. So
wait, what was it from?
It was from.
I have no idea what it's from. It's okay. A listener, a sicko, tell us.
It was Allen Robinson on the Giants. Was he drafted or Aaron Robinson? Aaron Robinson.
Oh, that's right.
Aaron Robinson.
Okay.
Yes.
Tom Donahoe. Okay.
Yes, and he was. I was gonna save it for that, but
yes,
he was. I just googled his name, and he was just activated off IR. So I figured perfect timing.
He spoke today for the first time since April.
Of course, Zach knows that.
Wow, go get him.
I spoke publicly for the first time since April.
You're
Imagine
muted.
he spoke it. Yeah, we missed your great joke, Bo.
Bo, you're still muted.
I can't hear you, Bo. All right,
we're off to a roaring start.
Thank you. We got Portugal checking in. We got Germany checking in. We can't hear Bo so far. This pod is.
Oh, you still can't hear me?
No,
now we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying that is great that Bo is muted, which is also true.
Yeah, I was ready to take over. Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Birds with Friends on a Thursday afternoon. Bo Wulf, Zach Berman, Marissa Morris here to preview Sunday's game against the Raiders. We'll do a little crow thine enemy. We'll kick things off with the news of the day in the week with Bird on the Street, and then we will get to super sarcasting before our crystal balled Eagles. A reminder, if you are in the live chat, to give us your super sarcastic submissions, and away we go.
Jacksonville, Seattle, Ireland. I like this. We have the roll call is back, baby.
How about Jacksonville catching a stray today?
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that.
How about Kelce throwing Jacksonville under the bus? Go ahead, Zach.
Sheil, I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly, said would have been amazing if no one told him for like an hour. So if Bo just did the whole podcast and he was muted, could you imagine that?
Yeah, let's do that next time. We'll have to remind ourselves.
Montreal.
Montreal. All right.
J'adore les one. Yeah.
Whoa. All right. Let's go. Bo, you going to move us along or what?
I guess. I mean, it feels like you guys can do the show without me.
Yeah, I mean, we could, but if you want us to do that, you have to tell us to do that.
All right. Sheil, how are you?
We're like 10 minutes past that. Let's go.
The show's only been going for 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
Okay. Let's turn it over to our stone cold newsman, Z-Berm, with Eagles updates for the week.
Dallas Goedert was activated off the COVID-19 reserve list. Goedert returned to practice on Thursday. However, he was not listed as a participant in practice during the portion available to reporters to watch. Goedert was on the side. I imagine this was a ramp-up period, but the important news for the Eagles is that he is back, that he's allowed to play this weekend, and my guess is he will play this weekend. We'll, of course, see Friday's practice. Lane Johnson, he was a full participant in practice. He was limited yesterday, Wednesday. My guess is you will see him there at right tackle this weekend in Las Vegas. And further, Anthony Harris, who had both hands injured, missed practice on Wednesday because of hands injury, not a hand injury, but both hands seem to be in working conditions.
We should call him Mr. Hands from now on.
He was back on the practice field.
Would you think this is going to sap his? I mean, if all it takes is one thumb to completely rob Ryan Kerrigan of any ability to play whatsoever, I can only imagine what both hands is going to do to Anthony Harris.
Well, I mean, I
theoretically would be 10 times as worse.
There's like there's a correlation causation argument there that I wouldn't necessarily go down, but so be it.
Okay. So you think Lane Johnson plays and starts at right tackle, and Jordan Mailata plays left tackle?
I do. Is that what you think too?
I think so too. Until it goes to the bench. I mean, again, it's hard to like speculate about the Lane Johnson stuff without knowing more. But I feel like once he's at practice, he's going to play.
And especially as a full participant in practice, right? He was limited yesterday. They were getting him back in. To be a full participant, it means you're taking your full allotment of practice snaps. And the fact that he was doing so, I imagine, means they're preparing him to play.
Okay. Sheil, you look distracted.
Oh, I'm sending Marissa my super sarcastic.
Oh, smart.
The daytime pod is good because Sheil gets the natural light coming in on, you can see the
going right over
from
here.
that angle there. Exactly.
Yeah.
He has some stripe action going on.
You guys have the collared shirts going on. Looks like you were out of practice, wanted to look presentable today. Is that what it was? Okay. Did you get any compliments on your attire?
No.
Should I start mixing in some, being better dressed for some of these? Maybe a nice button down. I got this big whole side of my closet just button down, so they don't see the light of day anymore. Maybe I should mix some of those in for these.
Yeah, I have.
Okay,
let's
move on.
I have suits. Well, I have suits in my closet back from when I used to do television, and
I
don't pull those out anymore. So
I think you should wear a suit for every episode, Zach.
Like
I
the
think
full
that's
suit.
a good new rule.
You don't wear suits
this is the new
to
television.
games anymore, Zach? You were always like a blazer jeans kind of guy.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do.
He's got that light blue blazer that he wears that I compliment him on every time. It's a
some
very
nice
sharp
dark
blazer.
jeans, right?
I appreciate it. Some nice what?
Some dark jeans and some brown shoes.
Correct. We are way too down.
I'd like to see you go a full blue blazer
so.
and wear a mask and be Owen Hart underneath.
Okay. What else we got? We done?
Yeah, I think that'll about do it. We've got a post-game show coming up on Sunday, and go Browns tonight. Basically,
I did not mention it, but a big part of the news, and I imagine we will discuss this here, is Jason Kelce had what I would say is one of the more epic press conferences in my time covering the team. In my 10 years, it's one of the 5 most memorable press conferences.
Whoa! Okay,
now you got to rank them, big boy.
Let's hear it.
Well, I would need to.
You can think about that. Let's get to the Kelce discussion. Yes. You think about that. Take some notes, but we are coming back to you on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I wasn't ready to put it quite that far. I feel like he's had some other ones, but we can talk about it. Yeah, I mean, he basically laid waste to the entire city of Jacksonville, Ben Simmons, and sort of by proxy, a bunch of other guys who have played for the Eagles over the years. I don't know. Choose to read into that what you will, but we have some clips because Marissa is just dynamite. So let's hear a little bit from Jason Kelce.
You have to realize that this is a blip in time, and that over the course of my career, I write the narrative. I'm the one who decides what this is. So, I think that's how you control everything. You really think about it like, if I just do this better, if I go out there and ball, if I go out there and play really good, nobody's going to have any choice but to love me or appreciate me as a player. So that's what I tell guys. You write your own narrative. What's going on, I don't want to crush any other player. What's going on with the 76ers, Ben Simmons, stuff like that, all that is because of a lack of accountability, a lack of owning up to mistakes, and a lack of correcting things. If all that got corrected, if you're fixing free throws, if you're getting better as a player, none of this is happening. So everybody can bitch and complain about, how tough this city is to play in. Just play better, man. The city will love you. So, you've given that. Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, obviously being a good player helps out. You win a Super Bowl and have the game-winning touchdown, you're going to be pretty loved. This city really appreciates accountability, appreciates people being very honest, real, emotionally invested, caring. I think there's a lot of people that say it's a hard place to play. I think it's pretty fucking easy, to be honest with you. You just go out there, play hard. You want to be loved in the city as a baseball player, run to first base. They're going to fucking love you. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I mean, if you go up here and make a bunch of excuses, you come up here and try and lie to them and act like they don't know what they're talking about, which sometimes they don't, but that's when you really when you act that way, or when you aren't accountable if you're making mistakes or you're not getting better or anything like that, they're going to crush you. And that's most of the guys that I see, that everybody's going to get crushed at some point. Everybody's going to go through a downturn or be struggling, right? And at all times, the city's going to keep you accountable to be doing your job and performing. But, if you stick to it and you fight through it and you get better and everything like that, they'll respect the hell out of you. Especially if you fight, even if you're struggling and you're fighting and you're really trying, they're still going to respect you. And that's what I think most guys miss. I think that, I really don't think this is a hard place to play at all, to be honest with you. I think a hard place to play is, I don't want to, I think it'd be miserable to play in a place like Jacksonville where nobody cares.
That's fantastic. It's so good. Just totally crushes him. First of all, apologies. I meant to have a disclaimer before. This is a PG-13 show, so apologies for the F-bombs. Maybe we can in post add in a little something before that goes.
Some kids listen.
You're
giving her some more
Kelce
work. I'm sure she'll appreciate that.
Stepped up to that press conference, and he only came there to do two things: chew gum and bury Ben Simmons. And he was almost out of gum, it looked like.
Barry Jacksonville. Don't forget Jacksonville. Wow. I saw your tweets funny. And I wasn't watching, so I didn't know what exactly you were talking about. But now I do. So
it almost wasn't a stray. It actually almost wasn't a stray. It was just a direct hit.
He looked him in the eye.
He just carpet bombed him.
Well, let's hear from Z-Berm. I mean, his top 5 press conference. I want to hear his thoughts first.
Give it to us Letterman style, like with a lot of pomp and circumstance. Number 5, number 4, number 3, number 2, number 1.
No, I'm not asking for the list. I'm just asking for his reaction on the Kelce. What Kelce said.
I will come with the list for a future pod. Let me put some thought into that.
Post game pod. Have it ready for the post game
top
pod.
5. But because first off, this was topical, right? This is the biggest story in Philadelphia right now is Ben Simmons, and he spoke about it for what?
No, I'm not laughing. It's a good comment. Jake tells me to do Leno instead of after you do Letterman, I'll do Leno.
Okay. So when you're in a podcast with somebody,
you guys Ben Simmons thing? You heard about this? Guys, he's talking about a back injury. He's got his brain on his back. What's going on? You guys seen this?
I gotta tell you something. When you're in a conversation with someone, which essentially this pod is, and then you just start laughing, one would think that you're laughing at the person who's speaking and not the comments on the side. So you gotta clarify that.
Very reasonable.
No, it was topical. It was well reasoned. It was well explained. It was a perspective that is unique to the person giving it. Right, it's Jason Kelce. He's speaking as an authority on this, I think is fair to say. And I just thought he put it so well. And yeah, he nailed it. He was interested in talking about it and he was ready to put it out there.
What did you make of the somebody mentioned in the chat that sort of long dramatic pause there in which it seemed like he was getting emotional. He was talking about like, you write the narrative of your own career. I mean, this is 100% speculation, but it seemed to me like he was thinking about how this is the last chapter of his career.
You see, I didn't have that interpretation. I know you did, and that very well might be the case. I thought it was a pause to think. Now you said it was an emotional pause, so we'll leave that open to debate, but I thought as I listened back and I watched back, given the sequence, I think he was wondering if he was going to go to Ben Simmons, and he went there.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I could be wrong. I didn't sense that as emotion. I thought that was a take a pause and think about how I'm going to say and what I want to say here. He obviously went into that. He was ready to chat right there. Sometimes you have some things you want to get off your chest, or a question sparks something, and he's at the stage of his career where he can, pretty much say whatever he wants to say. It really shouldn't be that hard. We've talked about it on this pod many a time, whether we're doing the faux press conferences or whatever. Play hard, be authentic, don't make excuses, be a good teammate. Like, these are all sort of basic things. Now, it is easier, I will say, for Jason Kelce to say now at this stage in his career than maybe other guys. It's easy, play better is not
sure.
Like that's not always easy to just play better. I'm not talking about Ben Simmons, but just in general, sometimes it's hard to play better. Like if you're a wide receiver for some of these Eagles teams and you feel like you're playing really well and your quarterback freaking sucks, or your coach sucks, or the offensive line is screwing up, like it's, there is like Jason Kelce has a job to do on every snap, and he's going to be graded, and it will yeah, that is true for those listeners. Sheil, a viewer says, Sheil, I didn't take that as emotion. And they were saying that's me after every social interaction ever. No, I can gauge, yeah, it's never emotion for me, but I can sense when other people are expressing emotion, but I do like that.
So he went further into the Simmons thing in a different answer. And was talking about how, the things that really get to people and like cause rifts or cause drama in his experience are when people are being called out on things that are true. So like if you're doing something correctly and like the town is hating on you for whatever reason, it's easy to brush it off your back because you know that they don't know what they're talking about. But if things are true and you haven't worked on your free throw shooting or whatever else it is, then that's when it tends to get a little bit more dicey and icy behind the scenes.
Yeah. So here's his quote on that. Quote, the stuff that hurts players or hurts guys the most is when it is true. Somebody gets up there and says a bunch of stuff that you don't believe yourself. You don't get upset about it. Usually the stuff that tears apart organizations, that tears apart players mentally, is because it is true and you can't wrestle with the fact that it's true or how to correct it. So you lash out and blame other people.
And so the obvious thing here, right, is he not so veiled talking about Carson Wentz?
Is that the obvious thing?
I think that's an easy leap to make.
I don't think that. No, I don't.
I don't think he's doing that directly, but I think it is clear to. I think it is easy to say that is probably one of the ways in which he views how that went down.
Maybe
lack of accountability.
Maybe, but I don't think Jason Kelce was viewing today as like a chance to make veiled criticism at Carson Wentz. I think this was.
That'd be awesome if he woke up and he told his wife, "Make sure you're tuned in to PhiladelphiaEagles.com at whatever time." All those things I've told you privately about Carson. I'm just gonna crush him. I won't say his name, but I've got some good ways to do that.
No, I think he had intentions of talking about being an athlete in Philadelphia, and about. In the wake of Zach Ertz leaving and amid everything going on with Ben Simmons, I think that was a message he wanted to put out there today. Perhaps if we psychoanalyze, it could be about Carson Wentz, right? But I don't think that was on Jason Kelce's mind, or though perhaps it was, and I wasn't thinking that deep.
The other thing I would add, and I don't think he touched on this, but I do think you get a lot of leeway if the fans and the city and the media, if you make it clear that you want to be here and play, like that to me is also a big part of it. If you say like, this is where this city's great, everybody say, even if you're lying, honestly, like everybody supported me. I haven't done my part. Like these things are very easy. I don't know if guys get coached or if they don't get coached, or if they do and they don't want to hear it, or if they're just, doesn't even enter because it's like, I'll just be myself. But it has to also be something you care. Like some guys might just like, wouldn't really care what do they care if the fans like them or not like them? I do think the performance thing is the big thing that he hit on. And
Exactly.
I don't know if that's specific to the NFL or not, but like the stuff you can get away with just if you perform, he's absolutely right about that. I mean, you can be a jerk. People will overlook all kinds of things, whether it's off the field, whether it's how you treat your teammates.
I don't think that's what he was saying, though.
Okay, what was he saying?
No, I think he was saying that you have to be good first to be beloved. Like if I was playing for the Phillies, I would hustle to first base, but I probably wouldn't get a chance because I wouldn't get a hit, right? So
it depends if Matt Ryan's on the mound.
The first thing to be beloved,
right? That's obviously
you have to be good and you have to win.
Yeah, but then he brings up Papali and how he's revered.
Sure.
He was talking more about like the effort and stuff like why you're going to bury Papali.
I mean, come on.
I think
is there a better example?
I think I think we make too much about like what matters in Philadelphia as opposed to like anywhere else. It's really what he's talking about with the Jacksonville thing. It's just the degree of scrutiny and the like intensity of the fan base. Like it's not like being Johnny Tryhard is going to play better in Philadelphia than it does in St. Louis or whatever. It's just that everybody cares about the team and the sports in this city. I think that's really what the difference is.
So there was this amazing anecdote on the JJ Redick podcast with Matisse Thybulle. And Matisse Thybulle was
going... How many podcasts do you listen to?
I listen to a lot. Yeah.
Podcasts.
I don't listen to music. So when I'm driving, when I'm walking, I listen to podcasts.
For the post-game pod, I would also want your top 5 podcasts.
Okay.
Podcast episodes of all time or his favorite ones?
Ones he's listening to now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Matisse Thybulle it was his rookie year, and he was going. I believe it was Chick-fil-A before the flight. It was his rookie duties. He had to get the chicken, and someone says to him in line, "Don't listen to what they're saying about you on the radio." And he didn't understand what they were talking about because, like, he didn't understand what sports talk radio was. And now Sheil lived in Seattle, so I don't know how popular sports talk radio is in Seattle.
Sheil was on the radio in Seattle.
But
I would say every Wednesday, the morning show on 710 ESPN Seattle was very popular. I would say. But
it was, and JJ Redick said something similar. Like it's very much a Northeast thing to have the type of intensity in sports talk radio, which as much as like I take pride in the way we cover the team, I do think a lot of the perception of the team is colored by sports talk radio.
Specifically ZB and the Wulf?
Specifically ZB and the Wulf, yes.
Okay. Anything else you want to get off your chest on Kelce?
Well, so you said he was talking about it was about Carson Wentz, and I didn't think that. But when Kelce talks about this kind of stuff and about how to make it in Philly and how to deal with criticism, I often think that, and this is me psychoanalyzing, that some of it has to do with Danny Watkins, right? They came in the same draft class.
He always talks about Danny Watkins.
Yeah, Danny Watkins was the first round pick who like got the job and flamed out here, and Kelce made it. And I think a lot of it had to do with, in addition to talent, because Kelce is very talented as we discussed, but has to do with like personality and the work ethic and the care, the attention to detail, things of that nature. So I always think that curves. But I often think Danny Watkins is the player that he's talking about in those cases.
But if Watkins didn't want to play football, like more power to him.
CTC.
Like, who cares? Yeah. I mean,
well, let's get
he made a life decision. He didn't drag anybody along. He tried it. He didn't like it. It wasn't for him, and he moved on with his life. Like, shouldn't the organization should be crushed for that? I mean, I'm like sticking up for him. Like, I love Danny Watkins, and it was a great story. But I don't know. Like, he didn't do anything to harm anybody. Well, he wasn't like a bad team. Yeah, there were no accounts of him being like a bad teammate or, a jerk to his coaches or anything. Like, it wasn't for him. Sometimes you try something and it's not for you and you go and do something else.
Well, so to sort of give some quick context, though, and when you heard Kelce say at the beginning of that answer, that's a good question. He probably took the words out of Sheil's mouth, because it was Tim McManus who asked the question.
Yes, and an unbelievable flex from Tim to tweet out a video starting with Jason Kelce saying "good question" to him.
And his social media strategy has been very strong. These videos he's taken, they're going viral. The Ertz one, listen, he evolves with the time in these different mediums.
So the way the question was phrased was about the players who make it in Philly and like the players who don't, right? So it was phrased that way, and so that's why I brought up the Watkins thing.
I think the way in which I would disagree with what you said, Sheil, which I mostly agree with, is that like when you're on the field, you have a responsibility to your teammates to be trying.
He tried.
We don't know that.
On the field? I don't remember.
If he's not trying during the week to get to like understand the game plan, and then he's going to go out and get a quarterback crushed. Like, is he trying?
There's like a minimum threshold of trying. You show up, you do what's asked, and then you do extra or you don't do extra.
Yeah, I mean, you can try your best and realize it's not for you and move on. If you're going to go full Bartleby the Scrivener, then I think you deserve a little bit of criticism. I mean, CTC, that's your boy. Zach, you recently you have a little CTC update.
Yeah, so I have a friend who I won't name who it is in case the coworker listens to the podcast as well, right? Because that would be good. But I have a close friend of mine who texted me that he has this coworker who makes a high salary and doesn't work very hard. And my friend always kind of looked at him with bitterness. And then he heard Sheil talking about CTC, and now he kind of has admiration. So how Sheil and Birds with Friends has affected his perspective.
Well, I would say, you should still, I believe in working hard and trying hard. I think those are good qualities to have. I try to do those things. You just, you don't need to that guy doesn't need to apologize to his employer, like if that's on them, that's a them problem, not a you problem. Ryan Kerrigan, that's not his problem. He looked in the mirror. He knew what he was coming to the season. Someone wants to pay him money. Go ahead.
Looked in the mirror and went, "Ow, my thumb."
Yeah, that's not his issue. So that's the now. And again, I think it's like a Jalen Rose thing who came up with this. So I don't want to patent this. I've tried to apply it to other areas. I think Jalen Rose was actually talking about himself later in his career, when he's self-awareness, I think, is just one of the most underrated qualities, really, especially what I feel like once you are in adulthood and looking for a job or you're coming across these situations. And so Jalen Rose reached a point where he probably knew he didn't have it, or that he shouldn't be being paid a certain amount, and someone was paying him a certain amount. And so CTC, go ahead. You'll give your all out there. Your performance is probably not going to match the paycheck, but that's not your problem.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't we take a little break to hear from our sponsors, and on the other side, we will do a little Crow Thine Enemy on the Las Vegas Raiders.
This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Check out BetterHelp.com/BWF. Life is full of stressors. It doesn't matter who you are or what you have. Life is probably stressful. It could be a relationship that you're in. It could be a busy time at work. It could be your kids or your family. You may not be feeling down and out and depressed or like you're at a total loss, but if your stress is high, your temper is shorter than usual, or even if you're starting to feel strain in any of your relationships, you could probably use a chance to unload the stress and just get it out. Talk to someone completely unbiased about your life, someone who's not going to judge you or take sides on anything. When there are things you can't tell anyone or feel like you can't unload the family or friends and you need to unload it, that's what therapy can be. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Unload the stressors and get some unbiased feedback. You'd be pretty surprised at what you might gain from it. See if it's for you. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Birds with Friends listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/BWF. That's BetterHelp.com/BWF. With today's low interest rates, it's a great time to refinance your student loans. Earnest offers low-rate student loan refinancing, and you can check your rate risk-free in just 2 minutes. With Earnest, you get radically flexible payments, and you can pick your loan term. By refinancing, you can reduce your loan term, save money, or combine multiple loans into a simple monthly payment. And if you have questions, you can even talk to a real-life human at Earnest for help. Isn't it time you stopped feeling overwhelmed by your student debt? Earnest is offering our listeners a $100 cash bonus. Refinance your student debt at earnest.com/birds. Terms and conditions apply. Now Earnest is giving our listeners a $100 bonus. Refinance your student loans at earnest.com/birds. Terms and conditions apply. Once again, you get a $100 cash bonus when you visit earnest.com/birds to refinance your student loan. Not available in all states. Terms and conditions apply.
Earnest Student Loan Refinancing made by Earnest Operations LLC, NMLS number 1204917, California Financing Law, license number 6054788, 535 Mission Street, San Francisco, California, 94105. Visit earnest.com/licenses for a full list of licenses.
All right, back on Birds with Friends, previewing
Let's
Sunday's
stop
game.
Spam in the chat if you're in there. All right, trolls or spamming or whatever. Let's just keep it
Whatever
cordial.
this weird cosplay thing that's going on between fake Doug Peterson
Yeah.
and fake Callie Roseman. Yeah.
Let's settle down.
Save it for your own time.
If you
Let's
want to
talk
hear
a little.
Doug Peterson's perspective, go to the Athletic NFL show.
I haven't listened to that yet. Did you listen to it?
I have listened
Not
to
yet.
it.
Okay.
If you
Any
check it
highlights?
right
Not
now-
yet. Not yet,
The two
Seaver.
of you
Not
guys who are
yet.
listening to every podcast. I can't believe Zach hasn't listened to this.
Wow.
Unbelievable. All right, Bo. So what were the highlights? And then people can listen to the whole thing.
Well, you
what
should
were
listen
like
to it.
what were like two things that stood out?
So they talked a lot about like the whole theme was about like self-scouting and that process. And I thought Doug was sort of speaking in generalities. I was hoping for some more specific insight. But it's the beginning of the press tour, not the end of the press tour.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry, Marissa. I promise you. It's one of those things where I want an extended. I want to listen to the whole thing in one sitting, as opposed to when the car starts.
You had to get to Reddick and Thibault.
Well, that was from a few weeks ago. The Thibault anecdote.
Okay.
It's totally fine, Zach. I would
Listen,
rather you sit with Emily and watch like Real Housewives of Salt Lake or something.
Succession. How about that? That's
Yeah.
haven't watched the first episode yet. We're finishing the season 2 rewatch, so
Okay.
gotta set the base. Okay, let's talk about this Las Vegas Raiders team. Sheil, I was surprised to see only 22nd in offensive DVOA, just because I feel like everybody's been talking about how good Derek Carr has been playing. 15th pass DVOA, 28th run DVOA. Do you think that John Gruden deserved to be fired?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I am more interested in your Vegas plans than really anything related to this game. I mean, when are you going in? Are you finally going to stay at the same hotel? Or are you just going to go opposite sides of the strip?
Nope.
No, not staying at the same hotel in
So-
Vegas. I mean, what is this? McManus and I would never even think about doing such a
Hey,
thing.
well,
Book at
if-
different times.
If we had, look,
Unbelievable.
I'm not going to. I'm not calling out our travel policy the way you guys called out WordPress. I am an established company man. We know that. The travel policy is such that if you book at a different time, you can't like stay in the same hotel because you're locked into certain rates. You have to get rates within certain so if I book earlier, and sometimes the rates go up, sometimes the rates go down, and the system also doesn't let you cancel a hotel and rebook. You have to like you have to get approval for the trip again. So there's so this is not stuff our listeners need to hear. But anyways, the point is that this year is a difficult travel year from staying.
Zach will be staying at a certain blackjack table. He's bringing a pillow, and that'll be where he goes.
Good.
I will be at the blackjack table this weekend. That's not. I don't think that's fair to say.
I can't wait to hear about this.
That's not a flex. That's
fun.
Showing up haggard on Sunday.
No, I will be ready for Sunday. I promise you that.
And Bo?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a ton of plans. I don't really expect to be spending too much time inside the casinos, just for COVID purposes. Might see a friend or two outside, have a meal. I'm flying in relatively late on Saturday, so.
Zach, do you think this will be as hungover as Bo has shown up to a game this season, or no? And if not, what game do you think that will be? Not that he's not doing his job and doing it well, but
this season, I would say it's probably so. Oh, actually, I don't know. He hasn't been bad. No, Bo's. The answer is no. Bo doesn't show up to games hungover.
Not hungover, but maybe just gotta grab him an extra bottle of water.
No, so I think if anything, he might be a little jet lagged, right?
Okay,
so,
that's a good excuse to have in the back pocket.
Yeah, so you might, because the timing for that. Well, it's actually you feel it more coming.
What time
back.
is the game on Sunday?
Local time. 4 o'clock there, 1 o'clock. So it's 4 o'clock here, 1 o'clock there.
Okay.
Yeah,
he's ready. Doesn't even know what time the game is. All right. Any plans with like a mistress or anything in?
Big Las mistress Vegas? Plans this weekend.
No. Yeah. Okay.
Well, if you did, you wouldn't say it
game
on the
pod,
right?
top 5. All right. Raiders offense. They've been a little up and down. I would have to look at it on like a game by game basis. I feel like they had 1 or 2 real clunkers there that probably brought that down. We're only 6 games in, so DVOA can be I don't know. Is there some saying
DV go away?
A deceiving, something. I don't know.
Deceiving vary on average.
Okay. So it can be, you can jump up like 12 spots. There you go. Conan says top 5 city for mistresses. So you can do that in the post-game pod. Their offense has been much more explosive than in the past. They have 34 plays of 20-plus yards. Jacksonville just got thrown under the bus for mistresses. They have 34 explosive plays. That is tied for first in the NFL, I believe, with the Baltimore Ravens. So they've really been pushing the ball downfield quite a bit. They have been more pass heavy than in years past. Derek Carr, I feel like, is a very, I don't know if even high variance is the word. It's,
I think what you want to say is creepy looking.
No, I wouldn't say that.
No.
You're the one who comments on all quarterback on these players' looks, their faces. I mean, it's really a strange. I don't know why you do that. It's very weird, but it's one shape face is one thing, but
So real quick aside,
nobody's thinking.
I shot at him.
I don't mean to interject, but we have these weekly calls with our editor, and before the week 2 game against San Francisco, we were talking about like potential storylines with our editor. And Bo just says, and
I don't even know where this is going.
Yeah, Bo says, and Zach really likes the handsome defensive coordinator on the 49ers. Right. And he said it as if like our editor has any idea what this joke is. So
why do you do that?
So there's this handsome defensive coordinator for the 49ers that Zach really loves. And
he's very handsome.
So you try to like explain it, but it's one of those things that you might as well just move on to the next subject, because my boss was just so confused about what was going on in this game.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Bo always just assumes that everybody knows everything he's talking about, or we've been over that before. I mean, really, who cares?
Anybody who's anybody should.
I think Derek Carr, if you catch him during a good game, you're saying, wow, why does this guy take so much heat? Look at him. He's carving them up. I mean, he had a game like that last week where he's throwing dimes downfield all over the place against the Denver Broncos. And then he has other games where he just sort of crumbles if you can get to him and you think he's like one of the 5 or 10 worst quarterbacks in the NFL. So I would say your opinion of Derek Carr, it should probably be shaped by more than one game. You could certainly come away from this game depending on how the Eagles defense plays with one of two of those opinions.
Would you say that he's having a career year?
Henry Ruggs has 445 yards, averaging 22 yards per reception.
I was hoping
Waller,
to just get a quick thing on Carr in support of what Sheil just said. Daniel Popper, our Chargers writer, had this quote from Joey Bosa after the game.
He ripped him.
There again. Yeah, we knew once we hit him a few times, he really gets shook. And you saw on Covington's sack, he was pretty much curling into a ball before we even got back there. Great dude, great player. But we know once you get pressure on him, he kind of shuts down.
I love that.
Hashtag
Great dude, great player, but I just crushed him. Okay.
Well, no, this is the real question that I would have for you about on Carr is if the Eagles are going to play this passive defense and hope that the other team makes a mistake, is that a reasonable way to play against Derek Carr?
I would say in years past that would really play into his strengths. I mean, they loved a good 9-play drive where they're running the ball. He's very accurate. They can be very efficient. So generally speaking, no, I don't think, I would think that you would want to really prioritize pressure on Derek Carr above all else. Now this year they've really feasted downfield. So maybe it's a little bit different. I don't know, but I think in general, that is not how you would want to play against this Raiders offense.
Okay.
O-line is okay. O-line is not great, probably a little bit below average. So, that would potentially be a matchup that the Eagles defense could win up front.
All right. Raiders defense is dead smack in the middle, 15th in DVOA, 17th against the pass, 10th against the run.
Yeah, they, in some ways they have some similarities to the Eagles defense. They don't believe that a wise man avoids all extremes. They believe that, I guess, that a wise man embraces all extremes because they just play, such a high percentage of zone coverage, by far the most snaps of cover 3, the old Seattle cover 3 in the entire NFL. I've always thought Gus Bradley will really coach you exactly to where your talent level is. So if you have players, it can look all right. If you don't have players, it's going to look terrible. And his history would sort of suggest that they don't blitz. They have the lowest blitz rate in the entire NFL, but they have done a good job with their defensive line. Max Crosby has 5 sacks. Yannick Ngakoue, the old Solomon Thomas has made some plays this year. Quentin Jefferson, who I covered with the Seahawks, Carl Nassib, and of course, Bo's boy, Darius Philon, the Pylon. So they rotate those guys in and out. So that's their defense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else we need to know about the Raiders? Anybody fun to watch? I don't know.
Darren Waller's pretty fun, I think.
Yeah.
So is Ruggs.
He goes through spurts where it just feels like the defense has no answer. Yeah, Ruggs has played well this year. Did not have a great rookie year by any stretch, but he has made a lot of flash plays this year.
And Max Crosby is a fun player to watch.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Double X. Level double X.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's take our last break and then get into Super Storecasting as we continue to preview Eagles Raiders.
There's big news from my favorite home security company, Simply Safe. Just launched their new wireless outdoor security camera. That's right, Simply Safe, the system that U.S. News & World Report names Best Home Security System of 2021, just got even better. This brand new outdoor security camera is engineered with all the advanced tech and security features you want and need to help keep you and your family safe. It has an ultra-wide 140-degree field of view so you can keep watch over your entire yard. It has 1080p HD resolution with an 8x zoom. That means you can zoom in and clearly see things like faces and license plates to capture critical evidence. It has a built-in spotlight with color night vision so you can keep an eye on what's going on day and night. It's super simple to set up and usually just takes minutes. And it has easy to remove rechargeable battery so it doesn't need an outlet and can go anywhere on your property. This camera has it all, and it integrates with your Simply Safe home security system, extending its protection to the outside. Together, it means every door, window, and room are protected, and now your property will be too. To learn more about the exciting new Simply Safe wireless outdoor security camera, visit simplysafe.com/athletic. What's more, Simply Safe is celebrating this new camera by offering 20% off your entire new system and your first month of monitoring service free when you enroll in interactive monitoring. Again, that's simplysafe.com/athletic.
Look, no one's perfect. Even the best baseball players strike out with bases loaded. The best golfers sometimes three-putt with the tournament on the line. So if you feel like you come up short in the bedroom sometimes, it's perfectly okay. But if it's bothering you, there are options. Go to GetRoman.com/BWF now. With Roman, you can get free online evaluation and ongoing care for ED, all from the comfort and privacy of your home. A U.S. licensed healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication is appropriate, it ships to you free with 2-day shipping. The whole process is straightforward and discreet. And getting started is simple. Just go to GetRoman.com/BWF and complete an online visit. Take care of your ED without leaving home. Complete an online visit today to connect with a U.S. licensed healthcare professional and take care of it. Go to GetRoman.com/BWF now to get $15 off your first month. Look, there's a straightforward way to take care of your ED. GetRoman.com/BWF. Get started now to save $15 on your first month of treatment.
All right, back on Birds with Friends as we prepare for Super Shortcasting, and I add up here how many turkeys everybody has left, thanks to Dennis. Sheil has 3.3 wins. I have 1.83 wins, and Zach has 0.83. I will have 29 turkeys today. Zach will have 37. Sheil will have 41. For those of you who are joining us for the first time on Super Shortcasting, good luck. Good luck.
Sorry. Hopefully this will be the last one.
There will be 12 things that are introduced into the open bidding process. And if whoever wins,
are you really explaining this right now? This is what you're choosing to explain?
Well, here's the thing: if you might think that the Raiders are wiping their hands clean of John Gruden and everybody's good on that coaching staff, let's not forget they've still got Tom Cable coaching the offensive line. Okay,
it's true.
All right,
are we getting to it?
Go ahead, Marissa.
Okay.
What do I have? 31.
You've got 41, Sheil.
41?
You
Wow.
only spent you kept 17 turkeys last week.
A direct reflection of the game boring me. Okay, let's go.
All right.
They were not the best submissions last week, I would say.
Okay. Ooh, one of your children is wanting to get in on Super Sarcastic.
That's my daughter. Yeah, I apologize.
Let's bring her in.
Who can blame her?
Yeah, big
Nick
fan.
Saban would enjoy.
She's
If
like,
she
Dad,
comes on the
send your
show,
turkeys.
if she comes on the show, you get 10 extra turkeys, Zach.
Really?
Oh, deal.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it has to be during Super Shortcasting.
She's
All right.
I'm behind a closed door, so.
Okay, I'm just throwing it out there. Do
I
with the
agree.
information what you will.
Okay.
All right.
Let's
He's
get on
gonna,
with the show.
he's gonna
12 picks.
save the turkeys anyway.
Yeah. Okay. First one. Jalen Hurts leads the Eagles in carries.
2.
Leads the Eagles in carries. 3.
Do I hear 4?
Zach, are you with us?
I am.
He's just thinking how she can get her in there without getting up and
Without me
moving out
getting
on
up,
any-
exactly.
He's gonna slide a little candy bar under the door. 4.
Do I hear 5?
No.
5.
Oh.
Oh, big money, going to Vegas. High roller.
Do I
Zach,
hear?
do you have a specific casino you want to play blackjack at?
Well, I'm not staying at well, I'm no, I don't blackjack wherever you go, but
Okay.
I'm staying somewhere else for budget purposes for the company here, but it'll be a nice place. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh.
Yeah.
The win?
Where are we at?
We're at 5.
With the win.
I'll go 6.
You can have it.
Wow.
Okay.
All right. Sold to Bo for 6. Okay. Dallas Goedert has either over 100 yards receiving or scores at least 2 touchdowns.
2.
3.
4, I guess. Who cares?
Do I hear 5?
5.
Go.
Out.
Going once, going twice. Sold to Bo for 5. All right. Number 3. Ryan Kerrigan has a sack.
1.
One.
Oh,
Who got that off?
Oh, it was a tie.
I don't know. It felt like me to me.
No, I thought you guys said it at the exact same time.
All right, who's going 2?
You know what? You can have it, Bo. You can have it.
For one?
Wow.
Okay.
Well, maybe hold on. Maybe I'll.
We
No,
can
I
have
don't
one
want-
then. Yeah.
No, go
Wow.
ahead.
All right, that was cheap. All right. Ben Simmons is traded before the game is over, and I think we should clarify that this is the Eagles-Raiders game in this submission.
I think,
because-
Zach, you should use this opportunity with the open floor to give us why you think it is that Ben Simmons is always right and is the
It's
best
not
player in the
okay.
NBA.
So Bo did tweet this out the other day, and I think people misinterpreted that to think that I am that I'm defending what Ben Simmons is doing, and that is not the case. First off, as you guys know, I should say, as the three of you know, I value treating people the right way, which according to Shams' story, he does not do. I can't imagine passing a security guard who says hello and you don't respond, and then.
And yet you stand for Chip Kelly.
Working hard and giving, working hard and earning everything you get. And obviously, if he's refusing to work, that's not the case. That said, I think what is happening here is at times misconstrued. Like, this is intentional. This is what he's doing here is not out of petulance. It's a strategy. It's essentially what James Harden did. And I think it's like, I think Ben Simmons knows exactly what he's doing. And I've long thought, and this transcends the NBA, this is other sports as well, holding out is overrated, because holding out, it's the type of thing where you're not there. Sometimes it's out of sight, out of mind. It's like putting something on your credit card and then thinking that it doesn't exist until you have to pay the bill, right?
Holding in is where it's at.
Yeah, but if you really want to make a point, show up, make life miserable for everyone around you,
Jesus,
and then
wow.
and then you can try. And then you can.
What do you
try
think
to
I've been trying to do for 5 years?
And then you could try to force their hand. So that's essentially what once he wasn't getting paid while holding out, he came and he's doing this. So my point is this is strategy, and I think sometimes that has been misrepresented here.
I think that
what he's doing.
I totally agree with that. I just wanted you to talk about how you think he's a great player, but
oh well, yeah, I do think he's a great player. I think he's a really talented player who it can sometimes there are clearly deficiencies in his game. But I do think he's going to go somewhere and he's going to do well, because if he goes to the right place where the offense functions differently, he can do so much well in the basketball court.
yeah, I think he's he's as good a player as Robert Covington, I would say.
He's better than Robert Covington. Yeah.
If you're audio only, I would suggest this segment going to the comments. I thought,
Yeah, what are they saying?
CTC looks very tame compared to what, Zach is suggesting here, just going in. There are different ways to go about it. You could just, you could have your representation meet with the Sixers brass and say, listen, we we want out of here. We know you guys probably want him out of there. We're going to be professional. We'll play a little bit, but let's work hard on getting a trade to get him out of here. I think he hasn't gotten, great advice. This doesn't seem to be working out great for him. Certainly the organization is taking a bit of a stand. And I mean, there are,
well, it doesn't matter to him what the trade.
There are degrees to this, though. I mean, when you say it's strategic and stuff, I don't know, being a jerk to like a security, I mean, you're not comfortable. You don't know what you're doing if that's like the level to which.
Well, that part I don't
like.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so,
that part I don't like. And that's why I want to make sure anyone who listens to this hears, I don't like what he's doing. I disagree with it, with what he's doing. I would never do this. I'll never be a professional athlete, but I can't imagine doing this. Right. I just think that the coverage needs to account for the methodology here, if you will.
Well, the methodology has been so flawed. I think that's why he's,
okay.
Like I don't know. James Harden seemed to.
Like at first, he didn't show up. Right.
Yeah, like a Butler and a Harden, they seem to know for those.
Yeah, they executed better.
Here's what we're gonna do. Here's why we're able to pull this off. And it's again, you can disagree with the way they go about doing it, but I think looking back, especially, it's easier to see that. I think this one, you can certainly qualify as different. Maybe you're right. Maybe he'll get traded and it'll all work out, but it certainly hasn't seemed to work. You have to be a certain level of player too. It goes back to the performance thing. I mean, if he were in that category of player MVP candidate level, then teams, it wouldn't even get to because somebody probably would have already traded for him for sure. So you have to, again, self-awareness is important. All right.
A Butler and a Harden, of course, the name of your erotic Clue novel. Okay.
Who's starting the bidding?
Is traded before the now. This, of course, doesn't have to be finalized.
Sounds like your night out with your mistress. All right, let's continue.
It just news has to break.
Oh, traded.
No,
it hasn't happened now. Is it going to happen in the next 48 to 72 hours?
I mean, I'll say one.
Yeah, I don't. I'm going Z-Berm strategy. I'm out.
Sold to Bo. Wow. Remember last week he got the cheap one and ended up coming in clutch.
Yeah, that was an outlier.
All right, we got a good one here. Zach ends his Vegas trip with more money in his pocket than what he came with. Well, and he has to be honest.
Okay. That's just gambling, right? That we're not talking about he went out for a nice dinner.
Yeah.
I'm betting on Z-Bay. I'm betting on Z-Bay.
I feel like you have to cover your expenses.
No.
Well, I guess
no.
This is paying for my expenses.
Okay,
does he get up from the table? His last
positive or even?
Well, this is more money.
Okay, more money.
Yeah, more.
I have to be above my buy-in. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I meant 4.
4, 5.
What I like about this is that I'm hoping that Sheil wins it because then it incentivizes Zach to lose money.
Right, but Zach will not do that.
No.
So,
I have a rule when I go. I don't reach back in. Right.
Yeah. And you got to put the green chips in your pocket.
And what do you put in the mortgage?
No, definitely not.
I have that rule too, but once you're, a few drinks in, all bets are off.
Every rule is meant to be broken.
I'm very good at self-restraint.
Zach is a disciplined drinker, which I admire about him. He's like, when you go in, you're saying what, 2 drinks?
Depends on the night, but yeah.
Oh, it's a wise strategy.
Depends on the mistress.
All right, so where are we at?
We're at 5.
I'll go 6. I believe in ZB.
7.
Wow. 8.
9.
Whoa.
Wow.
I mean, it really should be like a 50-50 proposition here, right? Blackjack?
10.
10.
Do I hear 11?
I got 41 to spend here. 11.
12.
I had a budget here, so I can't reach back in.
Okay.
13?
I'll sit it out. And Bo can have it for 12 unless Zach wants it.
Zach,
I'm going to be over your shoulder, Zach. If you're $1 up, I'm pulling you away from the table.
You know what? I will go 12 because if you're going to gamble on yourself.
You have to go 13.
Oh, 13. Yeah, I'll go 13.
Do I hear 14?
I think it's more fun if Bo wins this, actually.
Going once. Going twice.
14.
Zach?
I mean, I really screwed myself over a few weeks ago when I just was reckless in my bidding. So I'm not going to be reckless here. I appreciate the confidence, and I hope Bo wins this, but I am not going to put any more territory.
All right.
Oh,
to answer a question in the chat, yeah, you double on every 11.
Let's
I don't know anything about blackjack. Roulette is my game because you just put it on the numbers.
What's your number? What's your
14.
number?
14. That's my birthday.
Oh, nice.
When we went to the Bahamas this summer, that was my favorite game to play. Wasn't as successful as as hopefully Zach will be this weekend, but it's very fun.
I'll bet 14 for you this weekend. If
okay.
Yeah, throw a 5 down. What's that? 5 to win 180.
14,
right?
That's what I won. That's what I won this for. 14 turkeys. It's all coming together.
All right.
Perfect.
Isn't it?
Okay. Devontae Smith has more receiving yards than Henry Ruggs.
2.
4.
Jeez. 5.
6.
7.
8.
9.
I only have 2 turkeys left, by the way.
What? Wow.
I gotta read this comment in the chat. Sorry, kids. Dad lost our house, but good news, he won Super Sarcastic.
All right, I'm at 9 for.
Santa's not coming this year, guy. Or I guess.
No Hanukkah presents.
No, Hanukkah Harry's not coming this year, but.
But I beat Bo in the game.
What number is it right now?
I did 9,
9.
so you would have to go 10.
You can have it.
All right.
All right, sold to Sheil.
For 9?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Ooh,
Okay.
I should have actually gone 10. My bad. Okay.
All right. Short and sweet one. A punt is muffed.
2.
1.
What's the definition of a punt being?
Has to hit the ground. Has to
so
hit
the guy tries to field the punt.
Tries to catch it and then hits the ground.
Okay.
He can pick it right back up. But
Okay. It's a strange one. I have no interest in this.
I think Bo went 1.
I would know. Zach went 1, I went 2.
Oh.
2? Yeah, I have no interest.
I'm staying with
Zach?
But I could get it. Hold on. But I could get it for 3 because Bo only has 2 left.
Right.
A lot to work with. All right, I'll go 3.
I mean, it would be irresponsible for you not
Yeah.
to take
Yeah.
3.
Because Bo's got a lot so far, right?
Yeah.
All right.
You're letting him have it at 3, Zach?
Yes.
Okay.
The Raiders blitz any play with 5+ rushers on more snaps, not a higher percentage of snaps, than the Eagles.
2.
3.
4.
5.
6.
The look of pain.
I need to get a ball in the game here, so 7.
8. You don't want to tell a guy that when you're starting a bidding war.
I should have been on. Can I trade you this for Devontae Smith over Henry Ruggs?
Ooh, we've never had a swooper trade.
Never get involved in a land war in Asia.
No. All right, so what? I'm at 8.
Yeah. How many more are left after this?
4.
After this, 4 are left.
Okay. All right. Well, then you can have it for 8.
Okay.
All right.
You got it for 8?
Yeah.
Wait, so Zach has none so far?
Correct.
Yeah. Well, there's 4 left there, so.
Okay. All right. Dallas Goedert sets a season high in receiving yards.
4.
2.
Do we know what his season high is? It's okay if you don't. You don't have to look it up. I should have to do that if I want to know. 5.
Who was the one that submitted this one?
6.
I did.
Sheil, you submitted it. I thought it was you.
Listen, I was doing it during the show. I wasn't thinking it through.
His season high is 66 yards.
Oh boy, this is a good one. I'll go. Yeah, I said 5. How high are we going for this?
I said 6.
7.
8.
9.
10.
11.
12.
13.
Seriously? How many turkeys does Sheil have?
Zach, you might
Yes,
have to go
21.
get Sloan outside.
I have 21.
14.
You get 10
14.
more turkeys if you go get her.
15.
Do I hear 16? Going once.
16.
Woo, baby. How many turkeys does Zach have left?
37.
What?
Well, no, going into this one. So if I get it at 16, I would have 21.
Oh, yeah.
Still. Oh, boy, this is a good one. I mean, I feel good about this. You usually need what? 1 or 2 to actually win this thing, right?
Correct.
66 yards.
You want 17, Sheil.
17.
Wow.
I had a fantasy basketball auction last night, and I totally overpaid for Kevin Porter Jr. because I wanted him, and I had more money left than I originally budgeted. Surprise, surprise. And so
You got to spend it on somebody.
Exactly. So that's kind of how I feel about this, but I'm not going 18. So you can
Okay.
have it.
Wow.
And now I'm in. So how many turkeys does Sheil have left here?
4.
All right. So now
So if you want, why don't you? Do you want to just?
I can get.
Do you want to
3.
now blindly take the next 3 things for 5 each, and then Marissa will get to reveal what they are?
Not necessarily here.
No, he wants the hero.
You want a
right,
hero?
so-
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Let's
That would
make
have
it
been
quick.
that would have been so much
Bo
more drama.
So Bo has 2 turkeys, and Sheil has
4.
4
Yeah.
turkeys.
You don't
And
want to
Zach
just
has
take all 3 for
37.
15, and then you'd still
He
have
said
20,
no.
You'd still have 22 turkeys left
You
over
just
for next
asked
week.
him this, and he said no.
I know, but I don't think he understands, and it's good for the
No,
show.
I do understand.
Yeah, I
'cause
would like to
might
leave.
be- All right, let's go. Because there might be some Sheil might not want to bid on. So
All right.
All right.
The Raiders have at least 5
4.
plays of 20-plus yards.
4.
Oh, boy, he even saves one
Shark,
there.
the
Oh,
shark.
CC
Wise
Berm.
move. All right,
Well,
you
because I was
got it.
afraid you would say 4, and then I would.
Yeah,
have
I know. That was
So,
smart.
Yeah.
Hunter Renfrow catches
4.
a touchdown.
4. Sheil got it first. I'm an honest man. 5.
Okay.
Boy, Zach's getting some good ones here. I think
All
your
right.
strategy worked out.
Derek Carr. Derek
Um,
Carr has more rushing yards than Miles Sanders.
3.
Come on, Sheil, you gotta say 4.
4.
You can have it. I'm gonna stick to my 2.
Oh,
Wow.
Really? You're not even gonna just take that? What are you doing,
For
Zach?
5? You know what? But it's such a
Hey,
Five,
we'll
five.
stay out of this.
Five, five.
Wolf man.
5. I got it for 5.
Oh my god.
Okay.
All right, if
Okay.
that one costs me, the game is
Yeah,
over.
that's
for
going to
Bo
be it.
interfering.
That's definitely going to be the difference in the game. Totally.
All
I
right.
can see it
All
now.
right. So Zach has 23 turkeys to carry over. He got the Raiders' explosive plays 1, Hunter Renfrow touchdown, and Derek Carr has more rushing yards than Miles Sanders. Sheil has Devontae Smith has more receiving yards than Henry Ruggs. A punt is muffed. The Raiders blitz more than the Eagles, and Dallas Goedert has a receiving high for the season. He has 4 turkeys left over. I have 2 turkeys left over. Jalen Hurts leads the Eagles in carries. Dallas Goedert either tops 100 yards receiving or has 2 touchdowns. Ryan Kerrigan has a sack. Ben Simmons is traded, and Zach finishes the weekend up on the tables.
And then Bo also has a season prediction on the line.
Oh, that's right.
A starter being surprisingly absent or inactive.
I don't think it was a starter, just a player. A player
All
is
right.
surprisingly
There, no,
inactive.
it says there is a starter on the Eagles who is surprisingly
Oh, I
inactive
like
on
it,
Game Day.
CB. Good
Okay,
job.
fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
So Ryan Kerrigan doesn't count, unfortunately. All right, let's get into our crystal ball Eagles. Right now, the Raiders are favored by 3 points, which makes it a theoretical toss-up.
All right, I can start. I was on the fence about this game. I certainly can see the Eagles winning this. I can see their defensive line playing well, pressuring Derek Carr. But I kind of looked at it and I said, well, I think they're going to win one of the next 2. I don't think they're going to win both these games. And I just don't have a lot of faith in their offense. And the Raiders defense has been, mediocre, not good, not great, but mediocre. So it's not like a pushover like in years past. And so I kind of need them to show me a little more offensively, that they've come up with some answers during the mini bye, that they know how to use Jalen Hurts better, that they, can develop him better, that he can play better. So I'm going to go with the Raiders because I think a lot of times I just look at which team is more likely to be able to, score in the 30s in an easier fashion. And I don't think the Raiders are going to score in the 30s here, but certainly that would be them. So I've got Raiders 27, Eagles 23. So the Raiders cover the 3-point spread.
Okay.
I will jump in here. I think this is going to be a home type atmosphere for the Eagles. Not that factors into things, but we've been in games in LA before, for instance, where it was, where it was decidedly pro Eagles crowd. I expect that in Vegas this weekend. And I had liked this matchup for the Eagles. Well rested, had time to kind of look at things here. They need a better showing. I think the defense is going to look good. The offense, less optimistic about them, but think they will be more opportunistic. The key is converting those third downs. I'm a big third down guy, as we've established here. And, I don't buy into this talking point that they need to do better on first and second downs. In that Bucs game, they had 3rd and 5s and 3rd and 4s that they didn't convert, right? You gotta convert convertible third downs. I think they'll do a better job with that this weekend. I am picking the Eagles to win, so therefore that means they cover, and I am picking a slight over here. Let's go Eagles 26, Raiders 24.
What's the over-under?
The over-under is...
Oh, I thought you were saying you were going slightly over.
Yeah. No, I had that.
Okay.
When
That's
I did my prediction here. It is... sorry. I got it right here. The over-under is 49.
Okay. So it was a slight over. All right. I'm with Zach. I think this is going to be a very pro Eagles crowd. I think this is the one, like the game that every Eagles fan sort of had circled if they were going to make a trip. I think that'll be a thing. I think the Raiders are in for a bit of an emotional come down after last week.
Could see that.
And I don't have a lot of faith in this staff to put together some great offensive game plan, even after the mini bye. Like the way that Sirianni was talking about having his mind blown by the way that Jaguars handled the end of the game in London was a little bizarre to me. But I think they will be rested. Maybe, getting Lane Johnson back as a boost to the offensive line. I think the defense, this is a better matchup for them. Obviously, this is the beginning of them moving on from that gauntlet of a 6-game stretch. I think the Eagles are going to win this game too. I'm surprised a little bit, but that's where I'm going. And I will take the Eagles winning 28-23.
Okay. All right.
So there you go. We will be back on Sunday night for a live post-game pod from Zach's blackjack table. We will have live updates on Swooper Sarcastic with every hand that he has dealt for that episode.
Not every hand.
Well, I figure you're just going to have the live stream up.
No. Let's make this clear. We've had some fun with this. This is a business trip this week, right? I am going here to cut. This is not a bachelor party where I show up to a football game. Okay. I am going there to cover the Eagles game. I will be well rested on Sunday morning and ready to write my best column of the year. Okay?
Wow.
So that's this is a business
High
trip.
expectation. Okay.
Yeah,
You're only as good as your next one.
exactly.
I will do
Let's
my
let
best
Marissa
to make
go
sure
Browns, win by 2 or more. I mean, win by 2.5 or more. And let's go Case Keenum.
I was going to say I'm going to make sure that Zach does his best gonzo journalism possible. So see what I can do to spike his drinks. That will do it for this episode of Birds with Friends. Thanks for listening. To everybody who joined us live, to everybody who's listening later, we love you. That's really all I've got to say. We'll talk to you on Sunday.